an
Oh
ending.
my goodness.
Yes. Yes. Blaze
Oh
put on there.
man.
Her head nasty as Kenya. Yes. That joint. That joint is spooky, spooky. Oh man. What an ending to it. Hey, again, I think this movie came out in 92,
Yep.
93, somewhere in that area.
It was
Like,
92.
this is an extremely original movie ending to a horror movie for that time period. Like this, in all honesty, this is a slasher movie that showed Candyman killing under 4 people.
Technically.
They literally used the score to build all of the suspense in this movie. And as a
Yeah.
kid, from my honest, intoxicated perspective at this point, as a kid, what freaked me out the most about this movie is that Candyman was the first, and I'm gonna make sure that's the last time I say that name. He is the first, not villain, but like killer in a horror movie that introduced himself into the black community.
Yeah.
That was unheard of. We had Jason Goes to Manhattan where he was there for a second. We had Freddy do it a little bit. But
Yeah.
here they literally established that Candyman, damn it, that he was killing people in the black community in the projects.
Yeah.
Like, that's so original of an idea because you don't see a killer doing that to the disenfranchised. That does
Right.
not happen.
Right.
But they did an awesome job of explaining why. Because we see here his whole thing is, which is a horror movie trope now.
Mm-hmm.
His whole thing was to develop fear. He fed off of people's fear of him.
Yeah.
So when that fear was questioned, the best way to get that fear back is to hunt the person who's leading to the questions. Like, that is a heck of a setup, along with one of the best horror movie scores you will ever hear.
Yeah.
Like, it is so freaking creepy.
Yeah.
And right now,
Like,
I am watching this movie. I watched this movie on a screen that's no more than 13 inches. Pause. And I did that purposely for a reason. Like, I'm not watching this. No. I can try to separate as you saw. It was times I was trying to be on my phone. It was times I was
I
attempting
saw.
to block out what was going on. It was times that I couldn't block it out and I was creeped out. Like, this is it's certain movies that I just refuse to attempt to give my 100% attention to at this time of evening. And this is one of them. Like, this movie freaks me out to the T. And I still believe, though, as much as it freaks me out, I watch this movie yearly. Like, this is a great movie. It's only a few that I watch yearly. I watched this yearly. I watched the original Halloween yearly.
Mm-hmm.
I watch, as we talked about earlier, I watch Nightmare on Elm Street yearly. It's only a couple that I do that with. And it's movies that to me transcend the genre. And this is the first horror movie where the lead horror character is a black man. I don't think we understand like how huge that was at the time. We didn't have that. Tony Todd's voice is magnanimous.
Yeah.
Powerful in this. Dude, again, oh my God. Like, I am terrified. I don't like the name Helen because of this movie. And when they go to that garage and he's just saying, Helen. Like, dude, that was it for me. That was it for me. To this day, that's still it for me. I'll be like, nope. I'm messing around and caught this movie in the middle of the night And that scene, and I cut the movie off. I said, "Oh fuck no! Like I need to get to sleep tonight, and I'm not gonna get to sleep if that's stuck in my head. Like it is. This is why it's a modern day horror classic.
Yeah.
It's something that amazingly, if you teach how to make a horror movie, how to build suspense, Candyman tends to be one of those movies that needs to be viewed because the way Bernard Rose builds the suspense in this movie is ridiculous.
So, okay, all right, hold up, really quick. So, just to go off of what Fiasco is talking about. So, on the wall, did it say it was always you, Helen, or
Yes.
was it? Did he say
it was always you?
So, did he possess her and she did all the killing?
There
that's
you,
what I said.
There you go. It was always a confusion for most people of him saying it was always you, Helen, meaning he wanted Helen, or if it was always you, Helen, meaning he possessed Helen and had her do it.
Right. Because that's what I was kind of like. I was like, I really didn't know because I was like, it feels like this girl is being tormented.
I always took it that it was him possessing her and having her do it. So like that's what throws you off more than anything, because as an audience we see who's actually the killer, but in the movie it looks like it looks like it's Helen if you pay attention to it. Every time you turn around, she's the person with the knife in her hand doing all of this to people.
Yeah,
but by her doing it, it builds the fear of people of Candyman.
Right. And that's part of the reason what makes, because if you looked at it out of context, why would the little boy put the freaking hook in her grave? But if you understand what's going on, it's like, okay, it makes sense. But then it's weird because the way it's shot, all right, let's take for instance the very last scene where he says her name 5 times in the joint
in the mirror.
And then the old young chick, she got a knife in her hand. But we see that she didn't do it. We know that Helen did it, but it's like, I do think at a certain point, because they did this thing back in the day where the light glosses very specifically on the eyes, and Helen a couple times seemed like she was legit in a trance. And so I had assumed when those moments happened that she was under his possession or spell or whatever you want to call it. So that's what I assumed for that. But in that last instance, it looked like it was literally just her, and it just made it look like this young chick did it.
Well, I
don't know.
In the end, it's always a setup. We see who the real killer is. We always see who the real killer is.
Yeah.
But you got to understand, when they flip it, it's showing who the people in the film is supposed to believe the killer is.
Right.
So in other words, we see in their reality who the killer is, but in our reality, we are subject to the actual person responsible for the killings. But if we pay attention, Candyman explains that to you when he always says, we will bring the fear back.
Oh man, the video that showed her is a thing that sticks out to me.
Yes.
What is he talking about? Talking about the video footage on the cameras.
Like, that's all you really got to see at that point. Is it her seeing thing or extrally seeing that that's Candyman behind her? So is he haunting her?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm torn. Like, this is the first movie in a long time that I'm really torn, because then.
But if you think about it, think about this one thing, and maybe this will help you understand more. Because this is the one thing the sequel does. Who's doing the killing in the sequel? You understand it does the same haunting thing. where you may believe you know who the killer is, but it always comes across as one other person is doing it.
It does. And it's literally, it's almost, now looking at this, is too telegraphed.
Way too telegraphed.
It's too telegraphed.
Welcome to my issues with that film.
It would have been better if Yaya, no man, that character.
Yeah, but so you can't go into details because people haven't seen it.
End of the movie, then you introduce his character, and then have the young dude in this one, it be centered around him instead.
This movie makes you question everything about that other movie. And I had not done my yearly viewing of this film yet until tonight. That's part of the reason why I said let's do it, because I had not done my yearly viewing of it. This will be the last time I view it. Maybe around Halloween. I may try it again, but that's normally my Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Jeepers Creepers time of film to watch. But like yeah, this movie.
So Kenya, I actually thought that too, because of how they favor it, and it's weird because they don't say explicitly where Helen's roots come from, or maybe I didn't catch it anyway.
I'll ask a question. I know Sam has it, but Kenya, have you seen Farewell to the Flesh? That's all you need to know. If you've seen that movie, it'll help explain a little bit more. And it's definitely not the best movie, but it helps explain things a little more of the mythology of this character, because I'm not saying his name. I've said it enough. And my computer screen is a mirror. No.
Oh man, so, hold up. I broke a rule. Usually watch in October, but I wanted to watch it with you guys tonight.
Hey, you know what? We thank you. We thank you, because I broke the same rule. I do not watch this movie after sunset under no circumstance. And tonight's gonna be rough. Oh, Kenya, you look. Listen, none of the sequels are necessarily good, including the new one, but Farewell to the Flesh, if you want to know more about the character, is worth seeing. I think you'll get a kick out of it. But it's as a movie, as a general movie, this is the best, hands down. This is the standard. Everything else is not that good behind it, but I think you may enjoy it if you do watch Farewell to the Flesh. I think when we were doing our review of Candyman, like I pulled out, hold up, let me see, I got them right here. I pulled out my 3. I don't own DVDs to this day because I think they're pointless. But yet I still own these 3 films. I still do. I refuse to let them go. Because one, I don't see Farewell to the Flesh, I don't see anywhere. And I definitely don't see Day of the Dead anywhere anymore. So I hold on to these movies. Like these are, again, I deem them as horror classics. I only hold on to horror movie classics at this point. Like I have Nightmare on Elm Street, the entire series. I have Halloween, the entire series. I have Friday the 13th, the entire series. I have Scream, the entire series. I have things of that name. I have Jeepers Creepers somewhere around here because that's one of my favorite horror movies. Like, it's certain things you hold on to.
So, all right. So before we get to the giveaway, which we already plan on doing the giveaway tonight, I wanted to ask Lucas a question because I'm trying to piece this together now. Because
are you trying to piece it together with the new movie to try to get a better understanding?
The new movie doesn't add up at all.
Welcome to my issue now. Damn it. I'm happy you saw this movie because now you see my biggest issue.
It doesn't make sense.
For a movie that's supposed to be a sequel to the original.
I mean, it's kind of like they tried to change the mythology to make it easier for deaths to happen quicker, but then they make it convoluted because the foundation was already perfect to progress where it could go. Like, there's so many different things that they could have done with this.
Oh, man, they going off in the chat about that. Okay, is Helen in the sequels? No, Helen is not in the sequels.
Oh man.
Hey, Kenya, I am of JVS. We've recently broke up like what we all are like poignant at. Sam is the comic book superhero guy. That's his genre. Jorge, my guy, Jorge, is the family. He's the family man. He give you every family movie. Me, I am the horror movie guy because I will be dropping a review soon of The Old Ways, which is a recent Netflix horror movie that I feel is phenomenal. Even before you hear my reviews, I'll let you know I feel is phenomenal. I love horror movies. I see every horror movie I can, even the absolutely bad ones I watch. So I'm definitely all for try to do more of these for that genre because I believe, and Sam knows this because we talk about it often, I believe the horror movie genre and the comic book hero genre share a lot of the same similarities.
Yeah.
Like I believe both movies are judged the same way. No matter what comes out, both movies are always judged the same way, and the characteristics of each films are the same. I just love horror to a level that's sickening. No matter how terrified I am, I will watch every horror movie that comes out. And when I find a gem of a horror movie, like again recently with the Old Ways on Netflix, and not with Candyman, which disappointed me on so many levels, like I love to talk about them, and that's what led us to do this. Especially when Sam told me he had never seen the original Candyman. That is insane to me, not to see this movie because for anyone out there who hasn't seen the sequel yet and wants to see the sequel but also haven't seen the original, you have to see this movie before you go into that sequel because you will understand certain people gripes with the movie. Maybe you may connect on a deeper level with the sequel after watching this one.
Yeah, so when somebody, based on this, just this, when somebody says his name 5 times, commonly they die, but they might not. It might be worse than just dying because it feels like.
But if you think about it, the only person who said his name and didn't die at his hands was Helen.
Yeah,
and she would have.
Yeah, go ahead.
The only reason she didn't die is because she was building to people questioning if he was real or not.
Right, but I'm saying that there was ninjas that were dying that didn't say his name. Like people were just dying around Helen in the worst. Like it was.
Yes.
It was. That's why I said that this felt like Tony Todd's character. Yes, his voice. Like you said, when you first hear his voice, it's so distinct. I was like, man, it feels as iconic as James Earl Jones.
Yes.
And when he starts to do things, all his motivation to do stuff, it just feels evil. It doesn't feel maniacal. It doesn't feel like, oh, well, this is a revenge trope. Like, nah, bro, this is business, and you got to catch this work, and everybody around you going to catch this work. It felt like this is some evil stuff, bro. Mm-hmm. Because that joint with the little boy in the freaking bathroom, I was like, Lord, have mercy. I was like, because I was kind of, I was like, if this is any indication where this is going, I don't know if I can watch it anymore. Straight up. Like, I really didn't know.
He cut that little boy's privates off.
And then put it in the toilet, right?
Yes.
I said, Lord, no. And it's like...
Now, doesn't it make you question the motives of the new Candyman? Because he seemed to only kill one group of people.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, well, shoot, bro. I don't know. And I don't even know how those situations happen. Like, it's kind of like, based on Helen, if she's an example, right? How many more times did worse things like this happen? Because it's not like a case-to-case situation. Like, oh, somebody says his name. Like, nah, like this dude is vindictively evil. Like he did some things in this that was just sick, bro. Matter of fact, I really don't want to think about it anymore. Normally, I allow movies to kind of whittle in my head. I don't want to think about this movie, for real. But yeah, the giveaway. So tonight, we're going to be giving away a $20 Amazon digital gift card to somebody. Lucas will come up with, I guess, a question, horror related, and we'll give it away to somebody.
Can I make this difficult?
You can make it as difficult as you want to. $20 Amazon gift card.
I don't think the question should focus strictly on Candyman. Granted, we just watched Candyman, but most people here would love horror movies in general.
And it's up for grabs. Anybody here?
Let's throw a very interesting question out there. And the first person to answer gets it. And this is an answer that you can look up on Google, so it makes it even better. And I don't fully know the answer because I'm going to have to look it up after I ask this question. What is the top grossing horror movie of all time? Not adjusted for inflation. So for everybody out there, just what's the highest grossing horror movie of all time, not adjusted for inflation? Because adjusted for inflation, we're going to get a completely different answer, and I don't want that answer.
That's interesting.
Ha ha!
That's crazy.
I think someone may have gotten it.
Wait, is that right? Hold on, Lucas, because Google told me something close to that, but hold on, I'm going to send it your way. I don't know if this is right or not. One of y'all, well, hold on, I'm going to shut up. Is everybody, like, look, we'll give you a little bit of time. Put your votes in. Take your time. Look it up carefully. Because that's what I saw, Lucas. I don't know if that's right or not.
Hey, my guy got it right. What's his name? Hey, let me say this. All
right, who's the winner, Lucas? Because that's what I said, like,
it looks like,
because one of y'all looking at some old data.
No, somebody, well, clearly somebody did. Somebody did it based off of something I said, and that's why it was clear to say not adjusted for inflation.
Ooh.
What are you seeing, sir?
I believe my man Bliss Craze
1,000% right.
The winner.
Bliss Craze said it. It is the highest grossing horror movie of all time. Granted, some people would say that's not a horror movie, but it is considered a horror movie. So that's why I said I wanted to do something not too difficult, not to make you overly think, but Hope Fiasco. You know what? You said a $20 gift certificate to Amazon, Sam?
Yeah.
So, along with something else I got to get anyway tonight, I'm going to throw in also the $20 gift jump to Hope Fiasco because
he did it for with inflation.
Right? He did it for with inflation, and that would be
technically
The Exorcist, and it wouldn't even be close. In all honesty.
Yeah.
Now, hey, oh shit!
Because he put.
I just thought about something.
Because Jaws would have technically.
King of King. Oh God! God damn it! King of King is right.
Oh
yeah, it would not be the original. It would be the
2017 version. Dang.
Oh Oh God!
And see, there's no way for. Well, he might have meant that.
I think
it's no way of him.
I think Bliss.
Hey, Bliss, we need you to answer honestly, bro. Bliss, did you mean the original joint?
Bliss meant it.
I think he meant the new one. Because the old one wouldn't have made no money.
Well, the old one. Here's the thing, Kenya King. I think he didn't specify. Here's the thing, though, Kenya King. Let me let you know. The original It couldn't have made any money at the box office because it was a TV movie.
Oh. Is everybody still there? Uh-oh. I don't see nobody here.
Oh man, yeah. No, Kane says she's still here. Yep, and Bliss Crazy who won.
I don't see anybody on because you see at the top it doesn't show.
I see their comments. I see Bliss like, nah, I'm here. And Kenya like, yep.
Oh, okay.
And Hope Fiasco. You know what? I like all y'all comments there. So how I'm gonna ask Samuel how we giving out these $20 gift certificates before I say what I'm gonna say.
So this is for whoever won it first, daggone. If are we saying Bliss won it first?
Bliss answered it
okay, properly. So all right, for the people that won, Bliss, you first won. Go to our Twitter, DM me your email information, and from that email information, I'm gonna send you the $20 gift card digitally. So that way you don't have to worry about a mail. You can just immediately use it right off the cuff. So that's how we're distributing these.
So
we purchased it on our end, and then we email it to whoever the person is.
So Kenya King and Hope Fiasco do the same. We won't do we'll do. I want to do 20 a piece because then it makes Bliss's win seem like a little less than what I want it to seem like.
Wait, hold on. Who we giving gift cards to? Because we're talking about 3 people now. Hold on, what's going on here? I'm going
to give a gift card to Kenya King for sure.
Okay.
Because I love the It remake. Semantics will be that's correct.
Yeah,
I got to do it. And my other guy, Hope Fiasco, because I worried if I wasn't clear enough about the inflation comment. Because the moment you say The Exorcist technically is the highest grossing horror movie of all time. 1,000% so. So if you were to look that up, because I said look it up on Google. If you look it up on Google, you might pull The Exorcist as the highest grossing horror movie of all time. I think with inflation I gotta look it up, Sam, but I think with inflation, The Exorcist is $1 billion film.
So I got the numbers here. So adjusted for inflation, Jaws is 1.154 billion. Exorcist is 996.5 million. And then right underneath that is the Ghostbusters at 641.3. That's with adjusted
641?
641.3 for
the Ghostbusters should not be there because it is over 700 million.
And it for adjusted for inflation, it 2017 has got it for 328.9 million.
That's the domestic. Oh, are they talking about the domestic total? Jesus. So adjusted for inflation, the domestic total of Jaws is 1.6 billion?
Yep.
That is fucking ridiculous. And the weird part is Hope Fiasco said both.
He did. God. He actually did.
Damn it, Jim.
But yeah. So I guess you guys that stuck around for this whole entire time, y'all are getting rewarded with some good goodies. Hopefully y'all enjoy it. Again, go ahead and head to our Twitter. If you're not following, you got to follow first and then send a DM, and then we'll send it through to you. So y'all, all 3 of y'all ninjas won at this point. Hey, Bliss Craze, Kenya, and Hope Fiasco, y'all are the winners. Congratulations.
I do like y'all like knowledge of horror movies because it takes a lot to know that. Like unadjusted for inflation, like The Sixth Sense is the second highest grossing horror movie of all time, and that is not a horror movie. Right, even though thriller, right? It really has some huge, I don't know, because it has some huge suspense. It has that huge suspense building moments in it. So The Sixth Sense, for the most part, for most people, is considered a horror movie.
Yeah.
And I could have made this question a lot harder, but I didn't want to. Like, I wanted something that you can easily look up to get an answer to.
Oh, Malik, that's you. You bliss crazy, Malik. I didn't even know that was you, dog.
Yeah, didn't he say that at the beginning?
Malik been here for a while. He's a long time supporter of TeamJVS. Shout out to Malik. Malik actually donated to our Patreon when he was probably one of the first people to donate to our Patreon before we had anything.
Hey, Hope Fiasco, you're right. Sixth Sense is possibly the last win of M. Night Shyamalan's resume. Because Old was trash. Absolute trash.
Wait, didn't Signs come after Sixth
Sense? Yeah, I love Signs. Up until the end when he told him to swing away. Hey, that's when it went off the rails.
And swing away. I tell you what, though, daggone, Mel Gibson was that Joker back then.
But at least you all enjoyed this. This is something that we wanted to do because Sam had not seen the original Candyman.
He did not.
And I think his perception on the sequel has changed after seeing the original Candyman.
It did.
Because the sequel makes it seem like it plays completely off of this film. And now we know that's not the case. Oh, man, Devil was crazy as well. Devil was crazy, but Devil was not directed by M. Night.
Did he write it or he just produced it?
I think he just produced Devil. It was not. Devil is one of my favorite films of recent horror movie. Like, it's the way they build everything in that elevator is great. But if you all want to see a very, really good horror / suspense thriller, we talked about it enough. Boy Behind the Door. Maybe we'll do a watch party with that as one of our next, because that's highly like that's almost a perfect film.
So if what would be ideal world is if we could bring you know who to watch that. That would be freaking dope. That movie, commentary of the
movie for you, especially you all who have not seen it. Which, if you have not seen it, please get the Shudder app, which is one of the best apps humanly possible to have. It's $4.99 a month, I want to say. Like, it's an amazing app to have for people who don't have Shudder app. Matter of fact, after we do this, because see, Lucas gets intoxicated and loves giving away things, but I do want to give away something, and we'll talk about it because we may do a watch party for Boy Behind the Door, and if we do, I personally out my pocket will give away something which could be one of the biggest giveaways on JVS.
What in the heck are you talking about? Okay, well, Lucas is promising a lot. You
can. Hey, it's something that I think is worth it, and we may come up with a question afterwards for it, and may attempt to give away a year subscription to Shudder for someone. Yes, Sam, I would give away a year subscription to Shudder, especially for our horror movie fans. I think Kenya King said it best. Like, this is an untapped genre at times, especially from black film critics. Yeah, Lucas.
Hey, look, this is recorded at this point.
Hey, dude, I will keep. If you all understood the amount of streaming services I pay for that I forget that I pay for, it would not be a big deal for me to go out there and give someone and pay for a year for Shudder for someone to watch awesome movies on that I think should be seen. Especially, again, we are a black outlet talking about horror movies that don't happen often. Normally, we are not horror movie people. We are very careful about things of this nature. So I would be highly interested in that.
Oh man, this is gonna be interesting. All right, so M. Night actually did have a little bit of writing credit on The Devil.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I love that movie
with Brian Nelson. Ooh, interesting. I forgot about that.
So in other words, for M. Night,
he wrote. Okay. Cool.
So in other words, for M. Night, you need to watch Sixth Sense, Signs, maybe Unbreakable. I'm not 1,000% sold on it, but it's not a bad movie.
Oh, I love Unbreakable. But I love it as a superhero movie more than anything.
Split, which is pretty good. If we go all the way into the horror genre with M. Night, The Visit is still a movie.
I was gonna say the one with the kids.
I love The Visit.
Man, I saw that during the theaters.
Matter of fact, Sam, we saw that together in theaters.
We did. That's right.
Yes, we did.
That's right. I forgot about that.
We saw that together. That was like the beginning of this different iteration of JV.
That's a fact. It at the time it was two Caucasian women that were talking to us. They were like, "Man, y'all keep going back and forth. Why don't y'all have your own show?" And I was like, "I got a show, but this nigga don't ever come up there." He's like, "Lucas, like, man, I ain't trying to do all that right now, man."
Hey, the first show, y'all should do it. And I'm pretty sure it's still posted. The first show I did with Sam was, I think, our reviews of the Star Wars movies before The Force Awakens, because I had never seen a Star Wars movie.
Never seen it.
Before that, we had just like ran into each other at movie screenings and talked about movies.
Yo, Kenya, I was in the theater. I was like,
yeah,
that was them old folks was nuts, bro.
The moment they said, "Wait a minute, those aren't your grandparents," I said, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, that joint, like, that was the first time in a long time, like, my hair like raised up, and I was like, "I need to get the heck up."
Hey man, look here, we've had some. Getting to this point, we've had some very memorable moments at screenings. Yeah. Like Get Out. I will always remember Get Out.
This man Lucas, I had to calm him down in the theater because he was not feeling our other.
I was not feeling our non-melanated brothers and sisters as we were watching Get Out, because I was going and I was loud and belligerent at that time.
He was pissed. Lucas was so upset. I was like, bro, you gotta calm down, bro. It's gonna be okay.
Hey, Kenya, look, listen. It was me, Sam, and Jarrell talking about Star Wars, and that was like the real first time I got with Sam on JVS, and I had to say the unpopular opinion that the only good movie out of the Star Wars original movies was The Empire Strikes Back. And I said the first Star Wars was not good. I said the third one was the worst movie in the series. It was hilarious.
Yeah. I looked at Get Out quite a bit too. Lucas, did you ever see the alternative ending to that joint?
I have not seen Get Out since the day we saw it at theaters.
No, I'm talking about the alternative ending.
Literally, I've not seen anything with Get Out since we saw it in theaters. Oh. That's the only time I've seen that movie. Like, for everybody out there who wonders, like, when we go to these screenings or get the digital screen, that's whatever we do when we review these films. Sam is the one who will review a film, watch a film multiple times. I watch it once. It is very rare that I go back to watch a movie again. So when you all get my review of stuff, like, I do like to take my time. I try not to review a film right after I watch it. I'll watch it and sit with it for a couple of days. Then I'll do the review for it. And it's no different as it comes to MCU fans versus Snyder.
It is the same thing, bro.
Look unfortunately. Here, Kenya. Unfortunately, I hate both equally. I have no dog in that fight. My whole thing has always been, let's stop separating each other in the comic book genre and enjoy what you're getting. Because if I was to break it down from a critical perspective, I don't think either side would be happy with me.
They're not. He's gone off on both you guys, and like I've seen Lucas say some stuff. He's like, oh man, the crowd's going left, the crowd's going right. All they hating Lucas, all they loving Lucas. Like,
all y'all need to do is either listen to my review of the latest Marvel movie, which comes out this Friday, or go back and listen to our commentary on Man of Steel.
Dang, that movie still ain't out yet. Shang-Chi still ain't out yet.
Shang-Chi comes out this Friday.
Why do I feel like
it feels like everywhere. I watched that movie a month ago, and it comes out this Friday.
Do you think that they might have waited too late? Because I feel like all the hype behind it is like gone.
I mean, some of the trailers for Shang-Chi have been very interesting to me. Meet Marvel's latest Avenger, and I'm like, wait, what? Like, is that the angle we're playing with this movie? Or it's a coalition of Asian Americans who go forth to really support films starring Asian Americans, which I believe is an awesome cause to do, because we did the same thing with Black Panther. And they opened, the difference is with Black Panther, before it came out, certain Black organizations were buying private screenings for the film before it dropped. The Asian American organizations are attempting to buy screenings of Shang-Chi opening weekend.
Dang.
To make the numbers look better, which I'm not for that. Like, if you want to show Asian American kids like someone who looks like them on screen, which is, I think, is highly important, why would opening weekend matter?
Right.
Because Disney will allow you to do it early with no issue. Because they've done it before. Like, do it that way. I hate the idea of manipulating numbers to make a film seem bigger than it is opening weekend, when if that jump falls apart by the second weekend, it makes the film look worse.
All right, so we're gonna have to dip set, but what I'm gonna do, if I can, in less than 2 minutes, try to give a quick review on this movie that I've seen for the very first time. The tone, it feels haunting, which is weird to say in a film that kind of feels like a slasher, but it's not. But it feels like haunting, without the classic trope of like, oh, well, there's a ghost around and it's haunting people. Like, no, this didn't feel like a ghost story. This felt like something evil that was just there and had unrelenting power to just terrorize. And it's just crazy because it's shot beautifully. There's so many great shots. Mm-hmm. And yet at the same time, they understand cinematography. They understand like close-ups. They understand like build-ups and like pulling out, pulling in, lighting, atmosphere. Atmosphere is one of the biggest things that I could say is a good compliment to this, because I felt like I was in the area. Wherever this area is in Chicago, I felt like I was there. I felt like, I was breathing the air that these people were breathing. And even with the main character, Helen, like, they don't treat her like she's, what's the word? Untouchable. It's not like she's kind of like got plot armor all over. Like, I was like, yo, she, at this point, no matter what, I at a certain point I realized it might be easier for her to die. And I think that's the crazy thing to say. I was like, the easier way her to make it out of this is for her just to pass away and go. Because at this point, everyone around her is just dying, and she's the indirect and direct cause of it. But Tony Todd, bruh, this man, I don't know. I'm speechless. I guess a good thing to say. I've never seen anything quite like what he was able to pull off in this. Because again, like his voice alone carries so much weight and reverence as much as the score and the soundtrack to this movie. Like the atmosphere changes with his voice, the score, and the setup. So that in and of itself is perfect. But the way he actually carries himself, there's so much behind that I think that is underrated in the villains that we have nowadays. In any set of form of like the genre of thriller or horror in general. Like I don't think I've seen anything quite like that. And feel like the presence of some evil stuff going on at work. And I think that he was just fully immersed himself in the role. Because there's a scene that is around some bees. And I was like, ain't no CG in this. He's just dedicated. And I was like, these bees just coming out of everywhere, popping out his eyes, his mouth. And I was like, what the flip is going on, bro? So for me, I think that this would be a 10 out of 10 perfect horror. Like, I don't have any faults in it because it really was chilling, bro. Like, it really was actually kind of scary, dog. I have water all over myself to prove it. Like, yeah. Lucas, I think your audio is gone, but okay. All right. Sure you do. But yeah, I think that they did an amazing job with this, and I appreciate you guys for sticking with us to watch it for my very first time. Maybe we should do something like this again. I hope it's next time.
Hey! I thought we decided on a horror movie. Are we going to do Boy Behind the Door next, which is something that I think if you either Boy Behind the Door or The Djinn, something that I think for people who have not seen either one of those films, like my God, amazing, both of them. Or we can go completely classic horror movie. One of I think it was Hope Fiasco who said a movie that I am absolutely terrified of seeing, and it's the only movie I would fight Sam on ever watching, and I don't think Sam could get through it, which is Serpent and a Rainbow, because that it dives deep into a subject matter that my faith won't allow me to watch.
Oh.
And that's why I would be able to that's why I said we wouldn't be able to watch that. But either Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, things of that nature, especially with like maybe we'll do another one in a couple of weeks and try to give you all maybe Boy Behind the Door, which I think could coincide, Sam, if you're listening.
I'm listening.
Maybe it can coincide with us dropping the review. I mean, our interview with the directors of that and The Djinn, and us trying to do a watch party for, if not both, one of them, especially for you all who haven't seen it, because I personally, I want to give away something with one of those screenings that I think is something that anyone who loves horror movies could really get into. And then maybe eventually we'll do something as it pertains to the hero genre that people absolutely love. Maybe I could give away something with that. I have an idea. So it's a collection of films that I think would be dope to give away.
Hey, look, I'm with it. I'm cool. I gave my review. I gave it a 10. Can't believe I gave it a 10.
For which one?
I can't for what we just saw.
Oh, boy. Candyman?
I don't have any fault in the film.
Is it? I don't think it's humanly possible to have a fault in Candyman. Like Candyman is a top 10 of all time horror movie.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, the thing about it is that I don't want to think about it. And as a critic, you can see how that is not beneficial.
Troubling.
So I'm good at suppressing stuff. I'm good at not thinking about stuff.
Now you understand why I drank through this whole movie. And you kept on saying, is that a good idea? And I said, it's a perfect idea. It helps separate my mind from what I watched. Like, again, as a kid, I remember watching this film and being absolutely terrified of it. Not only did I not like mirrors as a kid, I couldn't get out the bed to even use the restroom as a kid after seeing this movie. There was just no way I was going to do any of that.
I don't think anybody anybody under 16 should watch this. This is not, because it's nightmare fuel. Like, on so many different specific moments.
Oh, can I tell you the sickest thing of all, Sam? Sickest thing.
What's up?
My oldest niece. Mm-hmm. Well, she's one of my oldest nieces. I think she may not be the oldest, but she's maybe close to 30 now. Growing up, Candyman was her favorite movie. She was 4 or 5, and she used to watch this movie weekly. And she used to ask us, me being her uncle, her grandmother, her mother, she would always ask to watch Candyman. It was the weirdest thing in the world to me that as a little kid, she absolutely loved this movie. This was her favorite movie.
That's creepy, bro.
Which coincided with me being young myself, being absolutely terrified with this movie. And sitting through it with her because, like, it was her happy place movie. It's just, again, it's very weird, especially in that time period in the 90s, of the material that younger children were allowed to watch. That now there's no way. Like, I have a 19-year-old stepson. There's no way in hell as a kid he was watching Candyman. Under no circumstances would I allow him, or his mom would allow him to watch Candyman. But now, like, we look at it like, okay, this is not something for children. But back in the 90s when this movie came out, it was really no limitations on it. It's a horror movie.
Yeah, I think that this is something that if the theaters were going on right now, they should have put this in the theaters like a few weeks before the new one came out.
Definitely.
Because it could have probably made a killing. Because I underestimated how good this was. To be quite honest. Like, I've heard it for years.
Child's Play 2 is crisp.
Oh, man. You know what? I haven't seen. I don't think I've seen the original Child's Play. I've seen all the ones after Child's Play. I've seen Child's Play 2. I've seen The Bride of Chucky. I've seen the other one, the new one. I think the new series we're getting it early.
For sci-fi?
Yeah, we're getting it early.
Wait a minute, Sam. Wait a minute.
I haven't seen the original.
You haven't seen the original Child's Play?
Not all the way through, no.
My God. So, okay.
Not all the way through.
So that's the series we need to start here. Horror movies, classic horror movies that Sam has not seen all the way through. Because the original Child's Play is a classic. Like, that movie, it is not the joke that it later becomes with Chucky. And Kenya's right. Even Child's Play 2, it's really good. That's a really good movie. So the point, you haven't seen Child's Play 1. Have you seen the original Friday the 13th?
I think I did right before the new one with what's my man? Jackie Earl Haley. After his version came out, I think I went back and lit it. But I don't remember it. So maybe I don't know.
Jackie Earl did Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah. Well, you said Friday the 13th.
I said the original Friday the 13th.
I have not.
You've not seen the original Friday the 13th?
Not at all. I can tell you that.
Oh, Sam.
Not all the way through. No.
It's only one original horror movie I had assumed you hadn't seen. Just one. And that would have been the original Exorcist.
Oh yeah, nah, I ain't seen that. I don't think I can see that. Be honest.
Don't worry about it. Neither. I'm not interested in even though there are Exorcists. There's a new Exorcist film coming out.
I know.
That Netflix paid $400 million for.
Hey, look, that's all you, homie. Look,
that is not me, my brother.
TeamJVS, that's all you, dog.
But if you have not seen the original Child's Play, maybe that's the next one. That could be the next film to watch, because I would love to see your reaction to that film.
I'm down. I did see the Poltergeist though,
which makes no sense.
I did see the Poltergeist 1 and 2.
I would love to talk about part 2. Part 2 is a horrible movie.
It really is really bad.
But it is so much there to have a discussion about.
Anyway, I gotta go. I got children to take care of. Yeah, chat, you guys are awesome. I think Kenya, you're the only one still here. We appreciate you guys. I may be posting probably everything after we got done looking at it and posting that to the YouTube page, so that way you guys can kind of recall this. And yeah, I guess the only sucky thing is I can't put. I'll do this just for Kenya. That way she can have.
Kenya, I love your take that Child's Play 2 is arguably better than the original. That's a bold take. Kenya, we got to get you on here to talk about horror movies. I'm very interested right now on your opinion. Oh, you can talk movies up? You ain't ready. You're not ready. Sam don't be ready to talk movies with me all day. I don't think you're ready. I think I can drain you out, especially with that hot take that Child's Play 2, which I do like. It's better than Child's Play 1.
All right. Well, I got them all saved. All right, you guys. Y'all have a good night, and we're ending this thing some kind of way. We try to find a darn exit, outro. This time I ain't gonna forget it.